If you're looking to dip your toes into the world of etching and engraving, but aren't quite ready to heavily invest into what can seem like a minefield of options, then this beginner unit could be a good place to start, the AlgoLaser Pixi. Laser cutters are often large machines that require not only a substantial space to operate in, they take investment in time to learn, but they can also be really useful pieces of equipment for the creative space. Whether you're new to engraving or just need a compact machine for craft shows, AlgoLaser present this tiny laser engraver that not only fits many more budgets, but can easily fit on a desktop, thanks to its 8.4 by 7.7 inch footprint, and takes very little investment in time to learn. At £8.3, you're probably going to put it somewhere where it will stay, instead of dragging it out for little engraving sessions though. The unit itself comes well wrapped and protected for shipping, with lots of foam pieces supporting the laser head. Upon initial inspection, build quality in general is very good. Everything seems in order. There's a protective cover that sits flush on top, although the fold over front and side panel is slightly wobbly when being moved, but fits well and doesn't seem like it will break. You're certainly getting your money's worth here considering the budget level price point. Inside is a similar story, even though the laser module does seem to have a little side-to-side play. Hopefully that won't affect the operation at all and could probably be tightened. Rather than a honeycomb grid, the base is a metal plate with handy measurements which help when sizing a job and placing materials. Further up we find a touchscreen display and a single control button, both used to interact with the device. We'll come back to these shortly, while around the back there's an exhaust fan for cooling, an expansion port, a USB-C port to connect to an external drive or to a computer, and the power button. There's also this hook where you can hang the included hammer-shaped tool, used for setting the lens focal distance. More on that shortly. As laser engravers typically produce smoke and undesirable smells, you are burning materials after all, you do receive an exhaust duct that attaches over the fan and extends around a meter. The idea is you'll place the end out of a window or something. Although that fan does look rather small, so we'll need to see how well it works later. The laser engraver is intended to be extremely user-friendly, so it can be used on its own or with other devices. What I will mention though is the user guide. You'll want to read this as it's quite descriptive with step-by-step instructions, and plenty of images to get you going, which is a nice added touch. Anyways, after going through the initial setup, which is quick and easy, the system will take you through the firmware upgrade process, and this does take a little while longer to be fair. Nevertheless, once complete, you're ready to go. From the screen you can browse through the system settings and enter each of the various modes. It's all rather intuitive, using a finger or the included stylus to interact, both of which work well. The graphics are clean and bright, but I do think the touch resolution could be slightly better, especially considering you can actually draw designs directly onto it. That said, it does work well and it's a valuable feature that you don't see very often, where you can import an image, make adjustments on the screen, type out a message in a specific font, or even drawing your own doodle using the included stylus. All works perfectly well. Alternatively, there is an accompanying app, which is fine, being exactly what you might expect. It's clear enough and easy to navigate with a library of pre-made design elements, as well as a file browser, making those a good way to control cutting and engraving jobs. And of course there's that USB port on the rear for connection to a Mac or PC. When it comes to placing materials precisely, the system isn't as advanced as you might find in more expensive machines. There's no camera for instance, so you need to monitor the base plate grid, ensuring it aligns with what you see on the screen, although moving and resizing your design on the screen is quite straightforward. At this price point, there's no autofocus either, but fortunately, manually setting it is quick and easy. You simply place your material inside, then use that hammer-shaped focus gauge on top of it. There's a thumb screw on the laser module, which you turn until the module rests on the gauge, and you're done. Not as quick and easy as autofocus, but it's still relatively straightforward regardless. Talking of focus, the Pixie also has these 4 thumb screws on the rear to lift the top half, allowing you to accommodate much thicker materials than you might initially assume. This not only facilitates deeper projects, but also enables the use of extra accessories, such as rotary attachments for engraving tumblers and other cylindrical objects. The 3 laser options are a little different, so keep in mind your intended use case. If power for cutting tougher or thicker materials is what you need, then go for the 10 watt. If engraving is more your thing and you want the finest detail, I'd opt for the 3 watt, with its very fine 0.04mm spot size. The trade-off here is that it won't be able to cut anything more than card or very thin wood, so choosing the laser type comes with some practice and trial and error, depending upon the material being engraved or cut. While the Pixie features built-in airflow, even when testing with extraction close to a window, you do still get some of that burning smell, which some may find irritating, so plenty of fresh air or stronger extraction would be advised. Otherwise though, the Pixie is easy to use, cuts or engraves accurately, and can be operated in various ways, without any reliance on a computer either. It may have some limitations, but these can be overlooked given the budget level price point. Etching away on various materials is reasonably quick and, as long as I had the settings right, would come out nice and clear. In essence then, the Pixie laser engraver is what I'd consider a compact starter engraving device. It's very much something for a person who feels the need to customize and engrave things every now and then, or even for small business owners and crafters who want to make the most of their space, or who could use a laser that is portable and needs no connection to a computer. Saying that, if you're wanting to make larger engravings or in higher quantities, you're better off with something a bit more prosumer than this. But for anyone taking their first steps into laser engraving and don't want to spend too much just yet, the Pixie is a great place to start. Just expect to have to upgrade to something a little beefier when you get more into the craft.